On the 12th of November, 1996, the skies above a quiet village in Haryana, India, bore witness to a disaster so sudden and devastating. It would change the course of Indian aviation forever. Two commercial airliners, Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763 and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, collided midair, killing all 349 people on board. It remains the deadliest midair collision in history. But behind the grim statistics lies a web of miscommunication, procedural failures, and avoidable human error. This is the story of how it happened, and why it should never have. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763, a Boeing 747-100B, departed New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport at 1832 local time. Its destination was Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, and on board were 312 people, mostly Indian nationals traveling for work. Flying toward New Delhi from Shymkent in Kazakhstan was Flight 1907, an Aviation L-76 operated by Kazakhstan Airlines. It carried 37 people, including 10 crew members and 27 passengers, many of whom were bound for business or transit travel. The two flights were never meant to cross paths. Yet, due to a catastrophic series of communication failures and timing mismatches, they met in the worst possible way. By the mid-1990s, Delhi's airspace was experiencing increasing congestion. Aircraft relied on radar-based air traffic control, but the infrastructure was stretched. Controllers used procedural separation for international flights, assigning fixed altitudes and flight levels with minimal room for error. The primary system was the use of what's known as vertical separation. In Indian airspace, aircraft traveling in opposite directions were often given vertical separation of just 1,000 feet and were controlled by voice communication with the Delhi Area Control Center. The sector was also non-radar, meaning controllers relied entirely on voice reports from pilots, tracking positions manually based on timing and altitude reports. Let's examine the timeline. 1832 IST, Saudi Flight 763 takes off from runway 28 at Delhi Airport. It is instructed to climb to flight level 140, approximately 14,000 feet. 1835 IST, Kazakhstan Flight 1907 enters Indian airspace. It is clear to descend to flight level 150, 15,000 feet. This is where it becomes critical. The Saudi flight is ascending through 10,000 feet, while the Kazakh flight is descending to 15,000. Ideally, they should be separated by 1,000 feet vertically. But the Kazakh pilots, non-native English speakers, misunderstand the air traffic controller's instruction to maintain 15,000 feet. What they hear, or what they think they're instructed, is to descend to 14,000 feet. A fatal misinterpretation. At 1838, the Kazakh aircraft continues its descent through 15,500 feet, then 15,000, and then 14,500. At 1839, Delhi ATC asks the Kazakh pilots to confirm they are maintaining 15,000 feet. They reply, Okay, descending 140. That moment sealed their fate. At 18 hours, 40 minutes and 35 seconds, 60 nautical miles west of Delhi, in the skies above the village of Charkhi Dadri, the two aircraft collided. The Kazakh aircraft's tail struck the left wing and horizontal stabilizer of the Saudi Boeing 747. Both aircraft were destroyed instantly. The Saudi plane erupted into flames midair, breaking apart as it plunged to the ground. The Kazakh plane remained airborne for a brief moment before spiraling uncontrollably and crashing. All 349 people on board both planes perished. There were no survivors. The Indian Director General of Civil Aviation, DCA, launched a full-scale investigation. Wreckage from both aircraft was scattered across the farmlands of Charkhi Dadri. Key evidence came from the black boxes, cockpit voice recorders, and flight data recorders. The analysis revealed the Kazakh pilots had limited English proficiency. There was no co-pilot confirmation of the altitude instruction. They had descended prematurely, violating separation rules. The Saudi flight was maintaining correct altitude and on course. Delhi ATC, overwhelmed in using procedural control, could not detect the breach in time. Some alternate theories emerged. ATC miscommunication. It was alleged that the air traffic controller may have issued unclear or poorly structured commands. However, tapes later confirmed that the instruction, maintain 150, was clearly communicated. Poor airspace design. Critics pointed to procedural reliance in high-traffic airspace and the lack of real-time radar coverage. Had Delhi FIR been radar-equipped, controllers might have warned the pilots sooner. Cultural and language barriers. Kazakhstan Airlines had a Soviet-style cockpit culture where junior officers rarely contradicted the captain. This, combined with limited English fluency, created a situation where no one challenged the incorrect descent. The tragedy forced immediate changes. India quickly mandated the use of airborne collision avoidance systems, CAS, on all commercial aircraft. By 1999, it became compulsory for all Indian airliners. The International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, issued new recommendations for language proficiency and procedural airspace management. Kazakhstan Airlines, already under scrutiny, was eventually disbanded in 2004 and replaced by Air Astana with stricter safety protocols. The crash highlighted the global need for standardized phraseology, real-time radar control, and cockpit resource management. The human cost was unimaginable. Entire families were lost. Children, workers, students, 349 souls erased in the span of seconds. A memorial now stands at the crash site in Charkhi Dadri. But for the families, no monument can replace what was taken from them. This tragedy served as a wake-up call, not just to India, but to aviation agencies worldwide. Modern aircraft are now equipped with CAS, automated systems that alert pilots of potential conflicts and suggest evasive action. Additionally, improved radar coverage, GPS navigation, and stringent language requirements have reduced the risk of such mid-air collisions. Yet, experts warn the potential remains. As air traffic grows and skies get busier, constant vigilance is the only safeguard. Technology may assist, but human communication remains at the heart of aviation safety. In the vast openness of the sky, thousands of aircraft fly each day, each trusting in systems, protocols, and above all, human coordination. But the skies, too, have witnessed tragedy. The 1996 mid-air collision over Charkhi Dadri reminds us that even in a world of precision, a single misheard instruction, a single misunderstood word, can bring about the unthinkable. For those lost on Flight 763 in 1907, we remember, and we learn, so it may never happen again. If you found this story meaningful, consider leaving a like, sharing it with others, and subscribing for more historical and investigative documentaries. Thank you for watching.